Welcome, everybody, to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show featuring Dr. Carolyn Dean. Join Dr. Dean for the next 2 hours along with her host, cohort, and good buddy, Ginny Sanders, also known as Ginny Almighty. Join Dr. Dean as she shares with us her vast range of experience, knowledge, talent, and wisdom. Phone lines are now open, and we'll be taking your calls from around the world and here in the USA.
Welcome everyone to Dr. Carolyn Dean live here on Dreamvisions 7 Radio Network, uniting humankind with universal love, or uniting Dr. Carolyn Dean with the very, very world that does need her so much right now. So much misinformation and confusion out there, but I'll tell you who's not confused, and that is Carolyn Dean. Well, I'll tell you what, she is sharp as a tack and crystal clear in her mind and her knowledge about how we belong to nature, nature belongs to us, and through that integration, we experience the health, vitality, and well-being that is our birthright. And when we interfere with nature through drugs, toxicity, devices, environmental changes, technology, go on and on and on, as we have interfered with our own creation now for hundreds and hundreds of years, we end up compromising ourselves biologically. We end up with health issues. And so how do we get back to that balance, that homeostasis that we're supposed to have and enjoy every single day? Well, Dr. Dean's got some great answers for how to do that. Very safe, very effective, very affordable solutions. It could be anything as easy as sticking your face in some sunshine to taking a few simple nutrients or minerals that will help your body recover and be healthy and whole. My name's Ginny Sanders. I'll be with you as your co-host tonight along for the next 2 hours along with Dr. Dean. And we're going to be talking about so many things that are important to you. Again, the natural way of taking care of your body. We've got all kinds of caller questions. We will take live calls during the show. We'll talk about nutritional studies and leading edge information that you need to make good choices. We'll take questions from our audience through our YouTube chat line and also the chat line here at Dreamvision 7. If you're listening to an archive or a podcast and you're not here with us live, you can email your questions to support questions, questions at drcarolyndeanlive.com. And Melody Rose, our faithful scribe, will answer your questions post-show. So we're here for you 100% in every way. Before I bring Dr. Dean on, I will let you know that this is not a medical advice show, but this is a Dr. Carolyn Dean wisdom show, and she is going to tell you exactly what she would do if she were in your shoes, but she's not allowed to give medical advice, and she will help you discover the missing link to your health that will help you move forward and advance your life goals and your joy and your well-being, because you feel so much better. And we'll have lots of testimonials about people who feel so much better too. So without any further ado, we will bring her in, the most delightful, the most wonderful, the most wise, and one of the most compelling people I've ever met, our very own Dr. Carolyn Dean. Yay!
Thank you, Ginny. Thank you, Rachel. Yes, where do I start? We haven't done housekeeping in a while, Ginny, so let me go through those things. I don't really have a rant today. I seem to be ranting about everything, so I decided just to pull back a little bit and go through suggesting that people refer your practitioner so that we can spread the word. Tell you about our referral discount, 15% every time you discount every time you refer someone for you and your friend. Be sure to get your blood testing done or your repeat blood testing. And that's under the research link at rnareset.com. And our magnesium deficiency survey, Ginny, I'll have to ask Brian how many surveys we've done so far. It's well over 500,000 people who've completed the survey. And we've done it for 2 years now. And it's consistent month by month. The same percentage of people are complaining about the 5 different symptoms we ask about. Almost 69 people have insomnia, 61 people have muscle cramps, 56 people have restless legs, 50% have palpitations, and 37% have headaches. So, I mean, with those symptoms, knowing that they're magnesium deficiency, that's why we keep talking about our Remag to help people get saturated and leave those symptoms behind. New versions of all the 23 free ebooks are at drcarolyndeanlive.com. So look at the version number of the book you have and the new version number and see if you should just download the new one. And I wonder how many people have read our nutrients paper, Ginny, the one we did out of Purdue. It's titled Circulating Ionized Magnesium as a Measure of Supplement Bioavailability. So true to our word to want to support nutrient research and explain and define to people why we think you need something that is highly absorbed like our minerals are. We're doing the university research. We've got a study on cyclists underway right now at University of Colorado. So that's a lot of fun. And we're proving that the size of our Remag is picometer in size, that it is a stabilized ion, that it is absorbed within a couple of hours at the cellular level. And we're proving that it's much better absorbed than other magnesiums.
Carolyn, I'm
Yes.
getting a little feedback that your voice is low tonight. Could you speak up just a little bit?
Okay, I guess it's just me speaking louder. So I will speak louder and not just be talking to myself.
Thank you.
And the affirmation that I sometimes say, I think I was going to say it every week, but sometimes we're just so busy. But the affirmation that's helpful to people who are under like the psychological stress of our world today and also their own physical stresses. Certainly our products help with the physical stresses, but the psychological and emotional stress is really ramping up. But for the physical stress especially, this is an affirmation that we ask people to repeat, many times through the day, kind of like a mantra or a meditation or a prayer. And the words are, I was a small property ravaged by a storm. The fine weather has returned. The forest and the river have become calm. The house is vibrant and shines in the sun. And above all, the field is returning to its order, health, and beauty. Thank you, my diseased and depleted organs, for I know you have done all this to save my whole being. And thanks to myself for doing my healing, body, mind, and spirit. So our topic today is vitamin C, a crucial building block of health. And we'll start out with Rachel, our producer's testimonial. Rachel is so sweet. She's just so excited about how she's feeling since she began working with us many months ago. Now, a few months ago, Rachel told me that she had easy bruising and her skin would actually tear. She'd whack it good and it would tear, bleed, and then bruise for a long time. And of course, I told her about vitamin C, saying that bruising to me was a sign of scurvy. and that she needed vitamin C. So she took it, and I asked her today how she was doing, and she said she really has to whack herself extra hard to even see a bruise. And she says she doesn't tear her skin anymore or have that bleeding. And if any of you have, elderly, I'm talking about 80 and 90-year-old relatives, or have been in a nursing home, you know what I'm talking about. These horrible black marks all over their hands and arms, the back of the hand. And that can be cleared up with vitamin C very easily. So the email that Ginny sent out today, vitamin C, a crucial building block of health. Let's just read through it. Over the last few weeks of my radio show, I've been sharing with you what I already knew and have been recommending, what is still being discovered, and what may yet be proven, which falls into the category of what I already knew. The bottom line remains the immune system is made of cells, and we have to keep building healthy cells using the right building blocks. These building blocks are available to you in our Completement Formulas. This week, we're reviewing the value of vitamin C as a building block of health, vitality, and well-being. In my book, I think Total Body Wellness, it's called. That's what we call our immune book now. We can't imply that we're helping the immune system, so we just had to call it Total Body Wellness. I quote Dr. Rhonda Patrick. She's a young American biomedical scientist, researcher, entrepreneur. She doesn't quite get it. I wrote to her about picometer minerals and Remag and magnesium, and she never got back to me, even though I subscribed to her newsletter. But it takes time for people to learn something really new and breakthrough. But she did write an article or a publication just titled Vitamin C, 42 pages to 20,000 words. And here's how the paper begins. You could probably look it up. Dr. Rhonda Patrick, PhD, and a paper entitled Vitamin C. So she says, vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid. Now, that's not true. As I'll explain, ascorbic acid is just one of the 8 chemicals of the vitamin C complex, but people just sort of interchange the two. I might as well say it right now. Our Whole C Reset is basically a food-based vitamin C complex with all the different natural chemicals. And our vitamin C Reset powder is ascorbic acid with potassium as a buffer. So there are 2 different items. Vitamin C is an essential nutrient. Essential usually means you can't produce it yourself. Now, most animals can produce their own vitamin C, but guinea pigs and humans cannot. So we have to eat our fruit or take our vitamin C supplements. So it's widely recognized for its antioxidant properties. These properties arise from its potent redox potential due to its capacity to donate electrons to oxidized molecules. So a bit of biochemistry or whatever there, but basically it prevents oxidation. It's an antioxidant. Even in small amounts, vitamin C can protect critical molecules in the body, such as proteins, lipids, carbs, and nucleic acids, RNA and DNA. Protect them from damage by reactive oxygen species, which are generated during normal metabolism. So just by breathing in oxygen and that oxygen doing its biochemical processing in the body, it will create these reactive species, oxygen species, that have to be neutralized by antioxidants. So vitamin C is something we need to be taking or having every day. Okay, so these reactive oxygen species are generated during normal metabolism by active immune cells and through exposure to toxins and pollutants. She says, for example, chemotherapy drugs and cigarette smoke. The vitamin also plays a critical role as a cofactor in chemical reactions. And she calls it this dual nature of vitamin C means that it is instrumental in multiple physiological processes, including those involved in the biosynthesis of collagen, carnitine, and catecholamines. As such, vitamin C participates in immune function, wound healing, fatty acid metabolism, neurotransmitter production, blood vessel formation, as well as other key processes and pathways. Now, collagen is huge. So I looked up some words for you about collagen. It's the glue that holds your body together. It's a major component found in your connective tissue, maintaining the structure and integrity of your skin, muscles, hair, tendons, joints, bones, and blood vessels. It maintains skin elasticity. It gets depleted with age, causing wrinkles, sagging, and a dull appearance of the skin. And vitamin C stimulates collagen production through a complex set of chemical reactions. A vitamin C deficiency has been associated with skin conditions resulting from poor collagen formation, including scurvy, and is associated with scaly, dry, and hyperpigmented skin. Vitamin C is responsible for binding cells together during the creation of collagen, kind of like a scaffolding. Without adequate levels of vitamin C, the body can't form, store, or produce more collagen. So to me, vitamin C is, the collagen maker. I know collagen is huge in the supplement world now. I mean, you can make your own bone broth and get your collagen, but to me, if you're deficient in vitamin C, that is where you should focus your production of collagen. And for all these reasons about the importance of collagen for the skin, that's why I put whole C reset powder in our Renew face cream. And the Renew face cream is made with a Renew serum, Remag lotion, and the whole C reset powder. That's what makes it so awesome. There's something I came across online about the 9 benefits of collagen according to science. And I mean, you can look these things up. I've gone over several of them. Let's see if there's supports healthy brain function, promotes heart health. Yeah, if the connective tissue that works with muscles isn't healthy, then the heart is not going to be healthy. Supports healthy gut function as well. They're talking about irritable bowel syndrome, and actually right now I'm in the midst of updating my IBS for Dummies book, so I'll have to. Yeah, I think I put collagen in the book already. It eases joint and knee pain. It supports your back. Now, actually, Rachel was talking about how all her joints and her hips and her knees are in good shape now. So that can be from the combination of our formulas, but it could be that the vitamin C she's taking is making her collagen that is helping support her joints. It all works together. As we said, supporting skin health, helps brittle, broken nails and boosts muscle mass, etc., etc. So that's collagen. And Rhonda Patrick said collagen, carnitine, and catecholamines. So carnitine, it's another essential nutrient that you have to get in your diet, or with vitamin C. Let me come to that point. In the human body, L-carnitine is used for the breakdown of fats in the manufacture of metabolic energy, as well as speeding up metabolism and giving you more energy. L-carnitine can help blood circulation throughout the body and keep the liver and heart healthy. Vitamin C is a cofactor for two enzymes required for the biosynthesis of carnitine. Since the oxidation of fatty acids in skeletal muscle is dependent on carnitine, this is a mechanism which vitamin C affects fat oxidation. So a lot of words there, but again, people talk about taking L-carnitine supplements. I haven't, needed to go there, because if you have your vitamin C, then you help to synthesize your own carnitine. And the next one that Rhonda Patrick talked about is catecholamines. These are hormones produced by the adrenal glands, and the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys. So we're talking about dopamine, epinephrine or adrenaline, and norepinephrine. They're the main ones. And they're released during bouts of acute stress. And actually, the adrenal cortex also produces levels of steroid, which is cortisol, which is the chronic stress hormone. And it turns out that the adrenal gland is among the organs with the highest concentration of vitamin C. So what happens when you're releasing all these hormones, making them and jetting them out into your bloodstream, getting kind of anxious and jittery with the adrenaline, gaining weight with the cortisol, then you deplete them, and you need more vitamin C to make more. So there's depletion factor. If you don't have vitamin C, you don't make more of your catecholamines, and you fall into the adrenal weakness or adrenal depletion that people talk about, burnout syndromes. So that's a sidebar on those three. And I mean, look at the depth of information there with just those three aspects of vitamin C metabolism. Continuing with the blog, getting vitamin C from food. Unless you live in a remote community untouched by the problems of modern farming, it's highly unlikely your local food supply will provide you with enough vitamin C. Even if you were to focus on eating foods with a high concentration of vitamin C, you would only end up denying yourself other nutrients or suffering indigestion from overeating or the laxative effect, actually. And if you try to get all your vitamin C from fruit, you may end up getting too much fructose sugar in your diet. The benefits of vitamin C, we've already gone through some of these, but just repetition is helpful. Vitamin C helps repair tissues, including skin, blood vessels, bones, and teeth, fights against heart disease and cancer with high levels of antioxidants, accelerates wound healing, helps eliminate bruising, which is low-grade scurvy, improves vascular elasticity, reducing blood pressure, reduces the stickiness of blood platelets, making them less prone to forming clots, lowers oxidized cholesterol levels. When vitamin C levels are low, cholesterol becomes elevated. When more vitamin C is consumed, cholesterol levels decline. Similar results with magnesium and cholesterol. Vitamin C increases type 1 collagen synthesis, the vital protein scaffolding of our body, helps reduce levels of lead, mercury, and other heavy metals, reduces histamine in the body, the hormone that triggers allergies and asthma attacks. So, as I said, a lot of this information is in Total Body Wellness, a free ebook at drcarolyndeanlive.com. This business about vitamin C from whole foods and ascorbic acid, I think we went into it a bit in our June 8, 2020 radio show. We had several vitamin C experts that use IV vitamin C ascorbic acid and do, just straight out miraculous work with their IV vitamin C. And I know, I think one of our testimonials talks about how our customer loves our whole C reset because it is food-based. And she said that she's heard that ascorbic acid is synthetic. But the two of them are important. With vitamin C complex, as I look at our Total Body Wellness book, the multiple components of vitamin C complex that are found in foods include a number of cofactors, and they're just called factors P, J, and K. The P factors help strengthen blood vessels, thus preventing bruising and bleeding gums. K factors help with blood coagulation. J factors help with the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. Other components of the whole C complex include rutin, hesperidin, bioflavonoids, ascorbigen, protein chaperones, and various enzymes like tyrosinase. The enzyme tyrosinase is very important. It breaks down tyrosine molecules, which are incorporated into thyroglobulin, along with iodine and 8 other minerals to make thyroid hormones. It's little known that tyrosinase contains copper, which assists in the absorption of iron. A lot of words there, but look how important vitamin C complex is. You also need the tyrosinase and vitamin C to help metabolize tyrosine into neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, epinephrine, and even melanin. So that's where the vitamin C helps the catecholamine neurotransmitter production with the tyrosinase aspect of vitamin C. And then there's ascorbic acid, and the levels of ascorbic acid in the adrenals are very high. And that's why after that radio show or before that, I decided to do the vitamin C reset berry powder, partly for this ascorbic acid antiviral effects and to help with the mineral taste of all our minerals. And it's been a real blessing for people who couldn't stand the taste of our minerals. So the ascorbic acid, the way that's used in high doses, for example, our vitamin C reset berry powder, it's got 2,000 milligrams per scoop. And Linus Pauling, he says that humans, they could be taking 10,000 milligrams a day. And I consider that kind of medicinal. I think the way our formulas work, they're synergistic combination of all the different nutrients you need. If you're taking all those nutrients, then you're probably just going to need a couple thousand milligrams of vitamin C a day. If you're just using vitamin C alone as a medicine for, some condition, a viral infection, then maybe you would need the whole 10,000 milligrams. But what the doctors on that, did I say it was June 8, 2020 program, they, most of them were using intravenous ascorbic acid and found that high doses, I mean, we're talking like 20, 30, 40,000 milligrams given intravenously, they were turning, people with severe life-threatening, almost on their deathbed conditions. And if I were still in practice, that's what I would be doing. I would definitely be doing high-dose vitamin C. So both types of vitamin C have their place. You can read all these words and more in Total Body Wellness book. So I think that's the blog, Ginny. If you want to jump in and tell me if there's, if you have some comment, if there's anything on the chat, anything on the YouTube, before we go into the vitamin C testimonials or go right to the phones.
Okay. A couple things. Still having a little, it's still sounding a little muffled on the microphone. So maybe see if you could just adjust that real quick. Deborah's asking, what are Dr. Dean's thoughts around vitamin C IV therapy for cancer patients as well as people with Lymes?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Oh, that's so much better. Whatever you did is perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I just, there's a button on my ear set that I can increase, it looks like, but who knew?
Oh, no.
I know. It's, well, we've had some bad rain here. And I was wondering maybe if we had, but we're on it. Well, anyway, as I said, yes, it's these doctors who are doing intravenous vitamin C that will take on Lyme or cancer patients, AIDS patients, horrible hepatitis cases, and see a turnaround. It's quite amazing.
Okay, very good. And then the other question was, how do you know how much to take in general? That's not like a vitamin C deficiency test, or what would you look for?
Well, that's where I said, I made the berry powder for a 2,000 milligram dose. I think 2,000 milligrams a day is perfect if you're using it with our other formulas. If you do get sick, then you increase it. And what they say in the ascorbic acid world is you increase it to the point of getting the laxative effect. And they say, then you know that you're saturated. I don't know if that's 100% true, because I know they say that about magnesium. You get the laxative effect if you're saturated. But if you have IBS symptoms or irritated bowel, you can get the laxative effect with a small amount of magnesium. So, I suppose if I got sick, what would I be doing? Well, see, I'd be doing Pico Silver and Pico Zinc before I went to higher doses of vitamin C. So it's a balance, What do you want me to say?
Well, I think that's good. I mean, I noticed one thing about the vitamin C powder is you sure get a lot of energy from vitamin C. I don't know what to attribute that to. I mean, you get that vitamin C powder going in the morning with in a nice big glass of water and toss some of that in and throw that down. And boy, it will just boost your energy. So I don't know what to attribute that to. And I agree with you. If you think 2,000 milligrams a day is the dose that you built for daily consumption, then that's probably where you would want to start, Kelly. And if you think that's too much, cut it in half and just do half of a little scooper that's in the vitamin C powder mix. That would be a great place to start from.
Right. Perfect.
Very good. All right. Let's see what other questions we have. Welcome everybody again to the chat line here on YouTube. We've got lots of people who like to write in and participate. Bill, my brother's becoming quite the little social media star, Carolyn. He's listening to the things you're saying on the show and then posting them on Facebook. We may have to put him on the payroll here in a minute. Oh, wait, he's already on the payroll. But yeah, that was kind of funny because he's posting on Facebook about just learning the great information about bruising for elderly people. I'm sure a lot of them don't know that that's what's behind it. They just think they're quote unquote getting old.
Oh, I know. And that's what, didn't Rachel say that to us just before the show, Ginny, that 5 years ago, she said to her doctor, I'm getting this excess bruising. It's new. What's going on? And he says, it's your age. And that's what they will say.
Yeah. It's funny because that's what we've just been conditioned to do, is accept that, you know, once you're whatever age, 60 or beyond for sure, you should just accept whatever's going on and write it off as aging. And it's just not necessary at all. Like you said a million times, you feel better now than you felt in your 30s. I feel great. I mean, a lot of people around us. I was with Deborah West the other night. She looks amazing. I mean, you know, everybody's just doing so well.
I heard that you looked amazing too, Ginny.
Amazing. I looked amazing. I can attribute that all to you, Dr. Dean. All to you and your amazingness and all these wonderful formulas and being so vibrant and happy from doing such satisfying work. So yes, I give you all kudos.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So,
all righty. So let's remind everybody that we do take live calls during this show after we're done talking about one another and to one another. We take calls at 646-558-8656, 646-558-8656. Deborah's got the number right here on the radio station line. And of course, it's in all of our emails and all of our advertising. And then when you get here, you just have to put in the ID number 883695-3587. Most everyone knows that. Come on in, join us. And if you've got questions for Dr. Dean tonight, we will put you on the show. And in the meantime, we will keep talking about our important topic. Let's see. So we don't have any callers right now, Carolyn. So let's keep going.
Okay. So the vitamin C testimonials that Jennifer gleaned from, I don't know, where does she glean them from? Is this from social media?
No, we have, you know, our customer service system is where we receive so many, you know, we get thousands of emails every day. And so you can just kind of keyword search our testimonial database. And when people write in and reference a product, she can find it that way.
Oh, sweet. Yes, all is recorded. Okay, so the first one, this vitamin C seems to help me. I've seen improvement with my skin and it's healing. So that's pretty cool when people notice that right away. So that's from Deborah. Mary Lou says, this whole C reset, along with the D3K2 reset and Remag, the magnesium miracle, and Recalcia calcium solution are all proving to be beneficial for my body as I am feeling a difference in my health and well-being. Thank you, RNA Reset. And Sandra says, I always had trouble digesting vitamin C, but I have no problem with your wonderful product. In fact, I love that now I can take vitamin C with no worry over stomach acid. Thank you so much. So that's Sandra. Yeah, I wonder, I don't know what vitamin C she's talking about, but that's why we put potassium in our vitamin C reset berry powder to buffer the acidic part of ascorbic acid. Did you know that, Ginny?
No, I did not know that.
So there you go.
There's another thing.
Yeah. So the potassium is very important. It works with magnesium. It's lacking in most of our diets. We do have a pico potassium, but you do get an extra 400 milligrams of potassium in one scoop of the berry powder, and it's buffered. Potassium is a buffering agent, kind of like I guess baking soda, but that's why you get that fizziness. The potassium will give you the fizz. So
Nice.
that's what's helping make it a digestible product. And Veronica is saying, I had been taking vitamin C, ascorbic acid for many years, but I quit due to the controversy regarding synthetic versus natural. As soon as I saw Dr. Dean's Whole C Reset, I ordered because her vitamin C is derived from whole fruit. I wasn't expecting visible results, but to my surprise, believe it or not, my skin that was dry and flaky changed to normal. Also, the skin on my heels were cracked, and now they are less cracked. Hopefully, over time, that will improve even more. Dr. Dean has helped so many with her research and initiative to create her products. Thank you, Dr. Dean. So, I mean, yeah, we love hearing that. You know, they take other products. You just sort of take them, you know, for fear of not taking them. You're not noticing anything, but you've heard you should take them. But then when people take our products, they notice the difference. I mean, that happens all the time. Right,
Yep.
Ginny?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Kelly was typing in and saying my dad's afraid to take vitamin C because he was told it's all made from corn and GMOs. And,
Oh.
you know, that's just simply not true, as we talked about earlier. I mean, the Whole C Reset is actually coming from a fruit complex, and there's no corn or GMO in it. And we've been very, you know, concerned about that, Kelly. So absolutely not. You're fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Glenn says, probably the best vitamin C absorption in the marketplace. Worked really well for me in a very short period of time. So he doesn't say how or what, but I mean, that's very, very positive. And Adela says, getting my daily Remag never tasted so good. Plus getting all the vitamin C at the same time. I especially use the berry seed powder mix for all the other liquid supplements you make. Our daily elixir gives us something to look forward to every day. That's what you said, Ginny, too. And Nancy says, absolutely the best taste one could have for a vitamin C product. Why drink sodas or sugary drinks when this makes water delicious? Great for those people who say they can't drink plain water. So yes, we really wanted to capture the people that had told us that they wanted to take Remag, but they couldn't stand the taste. They had extra sensitive, you know, taste buds or whatever. So we hope we've been able to find those people and let them know about our vitamin C Reset berry powder. And Paul says the best vitamin C on the market, 100% authentic. So I don't know if he's talking about Whole C Reset. Perhaps he is. And this is a longer one from Scott. He says, I've been using Dr. Dean's Remag, Remite, Pico Silver, Pico Potassium, Recalcium, Vitamin C Reset Powder since August 2020 and have benefited from them quite a bit. I have noticed I sleep better, feel better, have more energy, and Remag especially has helped me with the ability to walk long distances, which I could not do for years. And the Pico Silver has helped me with many nagging things like earwax issues, sinus issues, and more. So the earwax, I mean, I don't know, earwax, it develops in the ear from, I guess, the ear feeling irritated or maybe, you know, subclinical infection in the ear, it sounds like for Scott. Imagine it's helped me with earwax issues and sinus issues and more. Besides all that, I have also referred these fabulous products to 3 of my friends so far. When it comes to service and help, I have had several wonderful interactions with shipping and ordering staff and ability to ask questions too. I highly recommend any and all of Dr. Carolyn Dean's products found here on this website. Get yours today. So he turned into, yeah,
That's cute.
turned into an advertisement. Thank you, Scott. And Lisa says, I absolutely love this stuff. I used to hate the taste of the minerals, especially the Remag, and I couldn't get my daughter to take it because of the taste, which was frustrating because it's such good stuff. This not only makes it yummy to drink, but I know I'm getting 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C and some potassium too per scoop. Bravo, Dr. Dean. You think of everything. And Mary says, I feel great knowing that I am healthier over the long term, taking the whole C reset. Deanne says, like all Dr. Dean's products, the whole C reset is fantastic. And Jan says, whole C reset gives my body the boost it needs to feel its beat. I open a capsule and put the contents into my morning smoothie. Cool. And the last one, Jenny, from Melba. I think the vitamin C is great. Hoping it saves me from COVID-19. Well, we're not allowed to talk about that, but
That's right.
yeah, we've had very interesting testimonials from our patients. I blew it. I blew it.
Well, you're a doctor and you're allowed to have patients, even though you don't need any, but that's funny. Yeah. I mean, after all those years, that's a difficult habit probably to break.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have patients for so many years, all of a sudden, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Rachel has run off to her kitchen to make a glass of vitamin C reset powder drink. she's texting me that as we're talking. So that was funny. And also somebody typed in and said that they are allergic to cherry. So, and the acerola cherry. Carolyn, do you have another recommendation?
Well, take the vitamin C reset powder. Did we put some cherry powder in that too? We
it
did.
is. Yeah.
Well, then it would be to get maybe a liposomal vitamin C that's it's in ascorbic acid. Well, it's in ascorbic acid. You just have to look at labels for a food-based vitamin C that doesn't have cherries, I guess. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And also, what do you think about, is vitamin C an anti-inflammatory? I mean, does it have some of those properties because of the antioxidant? I mean, isn't oxidation inflammation?
Yes. So you could say it's an anti-inflammatory as well. And you think of scurvy. Scurvy is like a yucky inflammatory condition with all that bleeding gums and bruising and everything. So yeah, it's an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right, very good. Excellent. All right, well, we've got some callers holding, so let's take some phone calls, Carolyn, if you'd like to.
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay, so we'll go to area code 434. 434, if you can hit *6 on your phone, or there you go. Wow, boom. 434 is on it tonight. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. This is Sherry. About the vitamins, wait a minute. For bruising. My husband, when he's taking more now than I am, but when we were taking the same amount, he still does. He gets these bruises easily, dark bruises. And I don't. And I used to bruise more easily than I do now, even being on the Xarelto. So if I give my husband the vitamin C reset capsules, do you think that would help the bruising that comes from the Xarelto?
Oh, yes, definitely. Because it'll just make the collagen and all the things that help the structure of the blood vessels stay stable.
Okay.
So
he
go ahead.
He resists the idea of taking pills, the supplements, but he does take some regularly. And I heard somebody talked about opening the capsule, so that would be great if he could do that and put it in his morning smoothie.
Exactly. That I was going to suggest that. So yes, let us know how that goes. But Sherry, were you telling us a while back that you finally got him taking something? What was that?
Oh yeah, he's been taking CoQ10, and he doesn't take a lot of vitamin C, but some. So he's also on L-carnitine and whatever it is that's in with that.
So he's not on Remag and Remite and things that would really help him.
No, I couldn't get him to drink his water with that in it. And I don't think he would like the taste of the C powder in the water.
Right. Well, it's unfortunate, and it is his loss. It's really too bad because the things you mentioned aren't necessarily as helpful as our formulas for the heart and for energy and all the rest of it. But
Right. Yeah, I feel like it's my loss too that he won't. But yeah, you do what you can.
Yes. Yeah, and you could sneak in a half a teaspoon of Remag in his smoothie. He wouldn't taste that. I hope you're not listening. I hope you're not listening, sir.
No, he's not here. He's off playing music.
But yeah.
And I wanted to, this is a different subject. I wanted to say thank you to you because I listened to your show on the Dreamvisions radio. I happened to sign up with them for, newsletters or something. And almost right away, I got notified that I won a free book. And it was a book called A New Life Awaits by Cheryl L. Glick, RMT. And it's a good book. I'm enjoying it. So I feel like I owe receiving that to you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, that's Deborah, the owner of the company. She really works hard to help support everybody that listens to the show. So we'll thank Deborah.
Yeah, thank you, Deborah.
That's great, Sherry. I'm so glad. Anything else?
I don't think so right now. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, thanks, Sherry. We appreciate you too. And yeah, see what you can sneak into your husband's smoothie. Make it your Matahari. It's your Matahari adventure. Okay?
Oh, I will say, I just heard you talking about the 2,000 milligrams of the vitamin C, and I had only been taking I actually upped it to 3, but still, I looked at the bottle and realized that with only 3, I'm only getting, 2 is 500.
750, right.
Yeah,
well, you could add, do you have the vitamin C reset powder? Just take some of that as well.
Yeah, I would have to find a way to disguise it because I hate to say this on the phone, but I have a canister of it and I used 1 dose and it just doesn't agree with my taste buds or my palate or something.
Oh, I see. That's too bad. Ginny, have we found a way to disguise the vitamin C berry taste? I mean, that was the whole point of it.
Well, I think if it didn't click with me right away, I would probably do something like, one of the local spas here has started to carry it. And what she does is she puts lemon in it and the sea salt in the water and the berry powder, and it tastes delicious. So
okay.
you could
and do
maybe
it with that instead of putting it in. I make a half a gallon of water every morning and put all my minerals and salt in there. So I could, instead of, I don't know if I would use extra salt. I guess I could put the salt just in the water with the berry powder.
Yeah, try that. Yeah, and try that. Lemon berry powder, try that. Carolyn puts it in her cream, and she makes a berry smoothie with it. So maybe if you use it as a flavoring that way, you could probably mix it into a smoothie with like almond milk and make it kind of like a little milkshakey kind of a thing. But I think if you're just objecting to some of the sweetness, cutting it with lemon or lime would be really good.
Okay. I could try one time putting it in, I take at least one protein shake every day, so I could try it in that.
Yeah, experiment with it, Sherry. We don't want you to waste it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great idea. Thank you both.
Yes, and thanks for letting us know. We don't mind, I know you were hesitant to say that you didn't like it, but it always helps us to know these things so that we can make suggestions and, help people enjoy the formulas. That's all we're interested in.
Okay, I'm glad I dared to speak up then. Thank you.
Okay, great, Sherry. Thank you. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.
You, bye.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yep, very good. Got to let people know. We got to get feedback. Absolutely.
Yes,
now,
the feedback is important.
Yes, and so many people jump on. Maria says she adds almond milk. Bill said try using half as much in a teaspoon. Cherise said, I didn't love it at first. I started with half a dose and then some lemon. By the second canister, I use a full scoop, no lemon, and I crave it. So, it's with all that adjusting the palate business. But yeah, everybody tries to figure out a way to work with them because they know how well made they are. And I know she will too. That's fantastic.
And I have 2 Flora Refresh testimonials to take us up to the hour, okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, so who is this? Lavina says, I want you all to know that I love, love, love Flora Refresh. We're using it as a deodorant because the body's as a deodorant besides the body spray. And when my husband was sick in September, he had a crazy symptom of his head and his back feeling like a bad sunburn. It was very painful for him and hard to relax and sleep. I decided to do an experiment and first thought about trying Pico Silver on it. And then I decided to try Flora Refresh. I sprayed it on the top of his bald head and on his back. And within a very short time, he said he had relief. And after using it again several more times, he said it was totally gone. Thank you so much for everything you do. We love all your products and use them liberally. The products have helped us in the last years. We've been using them. In September when we had the virus, we didn't get as sick as most people. Yes, we nebulized silver and my daughter uses it quite a lot for her asthma. It's an amazing product also. And the last one, I've had great luck with Flora Refresh. I was using bentonite clay and Pico Silver as a poultice on one of my yeast rashes. It just wasn't going away. One day when I was spraying Flora Refresh, I decided to spray the rash as a self-experiment. The next morning, the patch had decreased in size. On the third morning, the rash was completely gone without any scabbing or anything, just disappeared. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's wonderful. So there you go, Flora Refresh.
Excellent. Hey, all righty. Up to the top of the hour, we're going to take a brief station identification break, and we're going to have some vitamin C drink, and then we're going to come back and keep going with Dr. Carolyn Dean. We'll be right back, everybody.
We'll be back with Hour 2 of the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with host Ginny Sanders, right after this brief station break. can also get updates and resources online by visiting drcarolyndean.com. That's drcarolyndean.com.
Did you know there are 65 health conditions associated with magnesium deficiency? Magnesium deficiency is a public health crisis growing in scope and proportion. Dr. Carolyn Dean, author of The Magnesium Miracle, has identified over 65 health conditions associated with magnesium deficiency, 100 factors that lead to magnesium deficiency, and 24 reasons why magnesium deficiency occurs. Order The Magnesium Miracle today at Amazon.com and learn how to remedy this pervasive condition.
Do you have questions about your health? Are you wondering about alternatives? Do you ever wish you could have 5 minutes with a doctor you can trust? Someone who is an internationally recognized authority in the field of natural medicine? Meet award-winning doctor, naturopath, and best-selling author of The Magnesium Miracle, Carolyn Dean, MD, ND. Hear a wealth of information designed to empower listeners and callers to discover how to improve health, vitality, and well-being through a variety of safe strategies and nutritional options. Dr. Carolyn Dean Live. Shows can be heard every Monday, 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern, with weekly live shows, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on syndicated Dreamvisions 7 radio network.
Natural health, vitality, and well-being. Yes, everyone wants it, but not everyone is sure how to achieve it. Dr. Carolyn Dean's Completement Formulas are more than just dietary supplements. They're whole foods and picometer minerals designed to complete your nutrition, not just supplement it. Experience the difference Dr. Dean's formulas make. Visit RNAreset.com to learn more. That's RNARESET.com.
Omega Institute, offering workshops, retreats, and online learning dedicated to awakening the best in the human spirit. With more than 40 years at the forefront of holistic studies, Omega is known the world over as a trusted source for integrated approaches to personal growth and social change. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org or call 877-944-2002. Again, 877-944-2002.
This is Dreamvision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Return now to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with her host, cohort, and good buddy, Ginny Sanders. Phone lines are open during live broadcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 live. Rachel's all pumped up now on vitamin C, so she's pushing all the buttons, Carolyn.
Pushing all the buttons, exactly.
That's right.
Sweet.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2. If you're listening again through our podcasting system or to an archive, we just want to remind you that if you have any questions about what you've heard on the show tonight, you need any clarification, you can email our radio show to questions, questions, at drcarolyndeanlive.com. And then we will respond to you. Melody Rose is great about handling all the correspondence from the radio show. We also want to remind you that if you're a new listener to the show and you have not yet had your vitamin D levels and your thyroid and your omegas and your magnesium levels tested, we invite you to participate in our research project through Grassroots Health. Dr. Dean has been very generous to award the gift of $212 of free at-home testing through our blood spotting kit to anyone who's listening and part of our radio show audience. And the way you take advantage of that is you email the radio show 2 questions, questions, at Dr. Carolyn Dean Live, Dr. Carolyn Dean Live. That's our radio show email. And you let them know in the subject line that you're interested in the free kit from Grassroots Health. And Melody Rose will arrange to have it sent to you. And then when you get it, you have to open the kit and read the instructions on how to go in, complete the survey, perform the kit process, and then send it in, and you'll get your test results back in about 3 weeks. And that will help you discern and know where you are in terms of what you require for daily supplementation. And Melody Rose will also help you with that once you get your scores back. So it's a really, really important thing to do, very valuable, Carolyn. And I just saw a research paper today that they're saying that your magnesium level, your vitamin D level of 50 or more is going to protect you from any of the weirdness that's going on in the virus that shall not be named. So you really, really want to keep an eye on your vitamin D score. And even if you've known what it is in the past, you really want to check it on a regular basis. Do you agree, Carolyn?
Yes, that's the only way to really know. Everybody is so different. I was listening to Mercola interviewing someone, and he says he stays at a very high level with just sunbathing. Now, I can't do that. And someone else like Kool-Aid last week was saying she took the 50,000 units, but it was of a vitamin D2, and she was taking it once a week. And she said her levels went up a little bit, but a once a week dose is not the way to take vitamin D. Your body wants you to take your vitamin D every day. And her 50,000 probably was dissipated after a couple of days, and it was like 0, 0, 0 the last 4 days. So you have to take it every day, and you have to know how your body is absorbing it. And you can only know that from doing a blood test. I'm not big on blood tests, but I became convinced about doing vitamin D blood tests with the work that Grassroots Health is doing.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if I told you this or not, Carolyn, but that whole sunbathing thing, did I tell you that Grassroots Health has an actual sun zone map on the website?
Yes, you did, right.
Gosh. Yeah, so you can be out, sun exposure, you can be out in the sun and still not get enough, depending on what time of year it is and where you are in the longitude and latitude of the earth. So even right now here in North Carolina, I will not be able to use sunlight as a means of building my vitamin D until March of next year in the spring equinox. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your microphone every once in a while gets attacked.
Attack.
Right.
Is it being attacked right now?
I can hear it clicking. I don't know if it's did you get a new headset?
No, I still have the same one, but maybe I'm just moving my head around and it's clicking. But yeah, I think so. That's another thing, like Dr. Mercola with the sunlight, and it's a good strategy, but you have to supplement in the winter, period.
Mm-hmm. And actually, Dr. Mercola, his huge audience uses Grassroots Health testing. Mercola is an associate of Grassroots Health, so he supports their work. So I was happy to hear that as well.
Yep, absolutely. Okay,
actually, let me just finish it was Dr. Mercola that told Grassroots Health to get in touch with us because of our work with magnesium. So yeah, it's a tight little circle.
Yeah, very neat. Okay, should we take some more phone calls?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to area code 917. 917 *6 your phone, and we'll bring you on to talk with Dr. Dean this evening. Hello.
Hi, Judy. Hi, Dr. Dean.
Look who's here. Our
How are you?
New York correspondent.
I've been thinking of calling for the last 3 weeks, and I'm hesitating. But since you guys brought the issue of vitamin D and the sunlight, one of the so I want to tell you about a video that I saw Dr. Mercola speaking to a man named Tucker Goodrich, who have no medical treatment knowledge or degree. And this man, if I may, I'll talk about. He's talking about linoleic acid. And the fact that linoleic acid too much in the body, actually, I'll give it to you a different way. The ability of be able to sit down in the sun. And I know you Dr. Dean, unable to sit down in the sun. You said you too pale. And you can't stand the sun, you become like this guy. You become like sitting too much in the sun, or to half an hour in the sun, make you like red and burning, and you can't stand the sun. So this guy, I'm very, since you're talking about Dr. Mercola, I recommend you looking for the podcast, because as you know, he can't keep the video out, so he has a podcast of 2 hours. I listened to it already 2 times, and this guy was have the same problem like you, Dr. Dean.
No, I don't have that. I don't have that problem. It's just that I don't want to damage my skin. I tan very easily, and I tanned all my youth, but I stopped it because it's damaging to the sun. So David, what exactly are you saying? That if you don't have enough of that essential,
if you have too much,
fatty...
the linoleic acid is destructing to the body. And actually, since 1850, when all the recommendation turned out, and they start to recommend to take seed oil and vegetable oil, which is very rich with linoleic acid. The trouble of the artery, the heart problem, and the strokes went up, and cancer went up substantially. As a side, I don't know. I thought that you have this problem. That's why I called. That's all.
Right.
Of unable to sit in.
Yeah, it's a good topic. And so to translate what David's saying, the linoleic acid is an omega-6, and mostly from plant sources. Omega-3 is what we use. We have our omega-3, but from algae, seaweed type source. It's usually
He
from
also
fish.
pointed, excuse me. Yes, go ahead.
So in our society, we have too much plant oils that we've used, and we throw off our balance of omega-3, omega-6. And actually
Yes, he warned, because he said most doctors recommend to up the omega-3. And he said it's a very dangerous proposition. He said because omega-3 can oxidize too. And the byproduct of linoleic acid is so destructive as cause oxidation and cause trouble, and that's why a lot of people. That's one of the main reasons that the heart problem and the stroke problem. The artery problems start once this the byproduct of this acid is very destructive to the body.
Okay, so you made it much more confusing because you said
Yes.
omega-3 is not good, but
No.
that's not what you meant. Okay.
No. I meant.
Okay, so stop, David. Stop it. Stop.
Okay.
Let's just clarify here for people. So
Okay.
omega-3s are lower in our food than omega-6s. And you know what happened, David, years ago when we all found out there was too much mercury in fish, people stopped eating fish and they stopped getting their natural omega-3s for fear of the mercury. So we do need omega-3s. I did not choose to go to the fish oils because the amount of processing that's done on fish oil to get rid of the heavy metals like mercury made it hard to digest omega-3 fish oil. So that's why I went to the algae. And you'll notice that we don't sell an omega-6 product because there's so much in our society. Anytime you buy even a natural, snack, or we have over here natural chips made from plantain and whatnot, and they're made in, well, it may be GMO free, but sunflower oil. So that's an omega-6. And Ginny, let me check with Ginny. Is there an omega-3, omega-6 ratio that Grassroots Health does as part of our testing, or is it just an omega-3 test?
It is a ratio. It's the EPA and the DHA of the 3s, but I don't know if we get a 6 report. So I'll look really quick and see what's on that panel.
Right. I think it's the EPA, DHA. And what David, I'm talking. You stop.
Yes,
you're confusing us because you're a New Yorker.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to confuse you. Yes.
Yeah, I know, New York. I live there. So what David is talking about, that Mercole's talking about, linoleic acid is an ALA, and that's the omega-6. It's a tricky situation, but what it looks like you can Google linoleic acid and dangers or whatever, and there are a lot of people that are talking about this. So yes, have you gotten your point across, do you think, David?
Not completely. I said that a lot of people, there is a lot of a recommendation to check the relation between the omega-6 to omega-3, and in a lot of time the professional recommend, if the omega-6 is too high, to up the omega-3. So this is dangerous proposition. That's what I'm trying to say. Could be dangerous proposition. So, and another thing, it'll be almost impossible to not to get omega-6, because omega-6 is it's almost in every food, in nuts, in everywhere you turn around, there is omega-6. So and especially this is one in a way going into the very popular diet now, the
keto.
The diet, keto, yes, the ketogenic, and people, it's high in fat, and so that could be dangerous. What kind of fat you're getting? That's another thing. So,
now, I don't want you to throw words like that around. It's dangerous to do this. That's too much hyperbole. What we will say is that when they say you test for omega-6, it's too high, and they say, well, balance it out by taking more omega-3. No, I agree.
No.
Because what was done actually in a lot of the omega-3 studies, they used high doses. And you'll notice in our omega-3 algae, We don't use high doses because we know that the body balances all its activities through all the nutrients. So yeah, they're trying to kind of put out a fire by giving you more of the omega-3 instead of lowering your omega-6 intake.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
And certainly, yes, with keto and the fats, I mean, we tell people you have to take all your, completement formulas to help metabolize the fats and all the rest of it. But I mean, that's going to come out. I mean, it'll take years, but they'll do studies and say, well, people who are too fanatic about the keto diet, they have all these problems. You have to be in balance. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
Are you good?
Yeah, kind of. But I just want to. I plead with you to listen to this podcast of Joseph Mercola and Tucker Goodrich. There's a lot of material that could be educational.
Yeah, and I agree with Mercola puts out some very interesting information, but Mercola sells krill oil, which is the whale food. That's I don't like that because
I've been taking for quite a long time. My oil now is the medium chain triglyceride oil, derived from coconut oil. They have no taste. They have no taste of the coconut, and this is according to this guy Tucker Goodrich. Coconut oil have almost no omega-6 oil in it. So it's very, very tiny. So it's very recommended to do that.
Right. Now, I cannot find that video, so you have to put the URL in
I can send it to you.
I
have it.
Yeah, put it in the chat line. Okay?
Excuse me? No, I didn't understand. What?
Put it in the chat line. Are you online? Where are you going to send it?
If you give me an address, I'll send it to this address.
Okay, support. Jenny, where will we send it? Support at rnareset.com?
Support.
Or,
you know what? I'll call the office and they'll tell me what to do.
Okay.
All
but
right.
I've only got 48 hours to listen to it because he has to.
The podcast is you can listen, but the video you cannot see. You cannot see the video.
Got it. Okay.
So the podcast
David,
you can listen whenever you have time.
Thank you. Perfect.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye, David.
Bye-bye.
Okay, very good. That was very good. Very good.
Yeah, David does a lot of research and it's important stuff, but I know some of these podcasts, they just scare people. They don't have the whole picture.
Yes.
Nobody has the whole picture, so it's like, oh my God, you can't do that. Yeah. But, I've been at this for, 40, 50 years. So I know all the setbacks, the ins and outs. I know what they're talking about. And it's only in the past 10 years since I've been making these formulas that I realized that, you can kind of balance out the whole body with the right nutrients at the right amounts and not have to go high dose with anything except magnesium.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Yeah. And also the thing about some of these toxins, toxic reactions or whatever, Realign takes care of so many things.
Right.
These acetaldehyde pathways and all these other kind of things that these guys freak out about. And because I've heard that complaint about omegas and stuff, acetaldehyde toxicity and everything, that is 100% what Realign will help take care of. So if you are balancing, you've got a good diet, you're, using everything in their appropriate ratios, it'll all work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just looked up ketogenic diet and high fat. And they're saying it's saturated fat, so and so says you shouldn't take more than 7% of your diet in saturated fats, and keto diet is associated with increase in bad cholesterol, which is linked to heart disease. So, they're coming up with all these critiques. Everything is critiqued, and it's almost to get it's almost, what do they say, clickbait or something.
Yeah, clickbait. Yeah, exactly.
They're just saying all these negatives to drag people into a conversation, but it is all about balance.
Yep,
So,
absolutely. Yeah. You got to find what works for you every single time without fail or exception. And there's a lot of different things to consider and examine. That's why like you say, Carolyn, you have to do it. If it doesn't feel good for you, don't do it. If it does, keep going. People have to take responsibility for their own health. It's not a cookie cut or anything.
But we made it a lot easier.
Gosh, yeah. Lord.
Yeah, I mean, what we all went through. I know your Greg, he was into supplements early on. He's gone through all these fads and come in and out of them, and I think he's pretty happy with what he's doing with the Completement Formulas now, because they are balanced and they take care of everything.
Yeah, and you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about stuff. And if you get a little sniffle or something weird jumps off, you just think, oh, well, it's just a phase. You just let your body move through it. You're not freaking out, running off to the doctor, trying to figure out how to suppress it or control it through some kind of a drug mechanism or a device or whatever. You're just like, okay, well, here's an adjustment, and you just let your body move through it.
Right. Yeah, it's running to the doctor that's got us into trouble, because as I've been saying over the course of this radio show, doctors have given up their one-on-one patient contact. They're looking at their computer more than their patient. They're not examining anymore. They're doing all kinds of tests, and they're just using a recipe book for what drug to give a patient. It's gone to the dark side. And here comes Bob. What?
A new inspiration.
What?
Your new book would not be the
death by modern medicine.
It'd be the death of modern medicine.
Oh,
There's no modern medicine.
Death of modern medicine. Yeah, we hear you, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should. Every time I rant, Bob his brain just explodes. It's so sad. Yeah, but it's sad for the people who are stuck in, quote, modern medicine. Very sad.
They don't understand that they're not being treated by a doctor. They're being treated by a computer. And that their data is being entered into an electronic management record system that is clicking through and pulling all their data into an algorithm and spitting out some kind of a remedy of whatever proportion, according to a standard of care that's been developed by a bunch of bots. I mean, they don't, and this happens time and time again, where people go in, and we hear it all the time in customer service, and they spend 3 minutes, and it's just constant questions, click, 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 click. And then they pop out and they say, well, you need prednisone or whatever it is for your inflammation. And there's absolutely no, like you say, they don't use their fingers. They don't examine. Maybe you get a stethoscope or something. They listen to your heart, maybe. And then it's all just a computer popping it out to you and then running it off through another record electronic system. They don't even call in prescriptions anymore. They don't write them out. It's already at the pharmacy that you are close to your home before you can even say lickety split, and your thing is done and your insurance has already been billed and you've already been processed through the entire program.
Right. And when they're making these algorithms, they don't put in magnesium. They don't put in vitamin C. They don't put in any of the nutrients that the body needs to survive. So they're going through this limited tunnel of drugs. And what does it's for? There's a list here. The benefits of electronic records: time saving, convenience, ease of communication, safer prescribing, improved care coordination, meaningful use. Nothing about saving a patient's life. Bob, what do you want now?
Well, once you discover Dr. Dean's world, you have to be careful. You're going to get so better, and you're going to realize how incompetent medicine is. You have to be careful because you'll start saying modern medicine is evil, and you might get a little extreme. That's the correct position, but you shouldn't walk around thinking people are evil. But you start to get so good on your scene, everybody else is absolutely ridiculous. They are, as you always show every show.
But the FDA is listening, Bob.
Yeah. So I love the FDA.
Yeah.
The FDA, we need the FDA. We need people to be balanced.
Okay, so enough of that rant. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, it's pretty interesting, actually. There is definitely a place for modern medicine, especially emergency care and surgery. But yeah, beware of the electronic record system, which doesn't record anything about human structure and function based on the nutrients. It just doesn't.
Yep. And nothing about, emotional conflicts or anything, or where you are in your lifestyle or anything. I mean, it's unbelievable, but that is the place that we're in right now. And that's why it's so important for people to take personal responsibility for their health care.
Yeah. And if one thing has happened in this past year and a half, 2 years, it's people are taking more responsibility. They're being forced to. Yeah. So that's very cool.
Yeah, that's very beneficial. All right. So again, to talk to Dr. Dean tonight about this or any other topic, 646-558-8657, 646-558-8656. Sorry, excuse me. And the ID number 8836953587. And it's posted on all of our content in here at YouTube and also on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. And then when you get in, you've just got to hit *9 on your keypad. Will let me know you have a question or comment, and we'll put you on the phone with Dr. Dean, and you can chitty chat with her about whatever delights you and whatever you'd like to share. And right now we don't have any raised hands, Carolyn, so we will press on with our important agenda this evening.
Well, our important agenda, we have no more testimonials. I'm not going to say too much because Bob's going to come over and interfere again because he thinks he has some room to talk, but he doesn't. But
can I talk to Ginny?
Can I talk to Ginny?
Let me talk to Ginny.
No, poor Bob. He doesn't have his. We haven't let him have his own what?
Outlet
code to get in. But anyway, we need a topic. What do we talk about?
Well, let's talk about all the great stuff you did this year. And let's talk about what's coming up. I know one of the things that you're working on is revising the heart health book. You did lots of great webinars this year. We put out some new wonderful things. And why don't you just talk about your year? What did you learn? What have you come to?
I think the big thing is, what is it? Well, the work on the farm, that's pretty huge. I mean, there's a lot that we're doing there with our Mighty Mash, for example, and growing some herbs that we will probably turn into important products. I keep being amazed that we are creating more products. I don't know what else. With the zinc, people are taking a lot of zinc. So what we're going to do there with our next zinc order is put a milligram of copper in with every 10 milligrams of zinc to have that zinc copper balance. We've done that in Remite, the 10-to-1 ratio of zinc to copper. But I mean, we really had no idea that this whole business where we have to protect our body with zinc would go on for years. So I have a sense and a couple of reports that maybe people are taking too much zinc and not getting enough copper. So that's come to the forefront. I don't know. I mean, it's almost like there's too much going on. As I mentioned earlier, I'm updating another edition of the IBS for Dummies book, and I'm embedding information about Remag in that book. I didn't have the company when I wrote that book with my sister. That was in 2005. So since then, I've discovered that using Remag for bowel problems is very important. People who have IBS or irritable bowel disease or constipation, they all require magnesium in sufficient doses to deal with the 80% of known metabolic functions. But what was happening for me back in 2005 is I was trying to get magnesium from just over-the-counter sources, and they were all causing more laxative effect. So hopefully Wiley Company, the publisher, will allow me to discuss Remag in the new edition. So that's going to be interesting. And as Ginny said, we're updating the heart health book, and there's always something new. Ginny mentioned this vitamin D paper that came out showing the benefits of vitamin D for preventing the virus that shall be unnamed. So there's always something. And go ahead.
I'm excited about the IBS for Dummies. I wonder, we saw some stuff about clinical research on humic fulvic, which is what we have in Flora Revive. Will you be updating that part of it too and putting Flora Revive and the soil-based probiotic and feeding your biome kind of content in there?
I did do that, put in humic fulvic. I'll see whether or not they'll let me put in Flora Revive itself. Because we do make product recommendations. So yes, I have the humic fulvic in there. Because over the years, in the beginning with the probiotics, it was all about lactobacillus and bifidobacteria, which are the weakest of probiotics. So we learned that it's the soil-based probiotics that you have to use, and it's not, 10 or 12 soil-based that they isolate and grow and then throw in a capsule. That itself is too limited. You're looking at 300 to 600 different bacterial species in the intestines. So to say that it's these 5 or 10 or 15 is really throwing a possible imbalance into the picture, because you're giving high amounts of just a few of the hundreds of organisms. So that's the problem with the supplement industry. They try to make it easy. They try to isolate one thing and say this is what's important, instead of looking for a broad spectrum.
And the other thing that's come out, I'm sure since with the magnesium and others, is the absolute importance of remineralizing the gut. I mean, the gut is such a complex nervous system entity producing so many hormones, the serotonin, all those other kinds of things. They all have to have all the minerals in Remite, everything. The humic fulvic has a big trace mineral base to it, all the sea salted minerals and the water and everything. I mean, it's so important to heal the gut.
Right. So that when the probiotic people come into play and do their research, they act like all you need is probiotics, and they do their research just based on this probiotic or that probiotic, make wild assumptions and conclusions, and never mention any of the other nutrients. All the nutrients are important. If they'd only study them in an unbiased way, they're all important. And that's what we focus on, all of them.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I would ask you. What new fads happened this year?
I don't know.
No particular fads you can think of that would you not think?
Carnivore diet, maybe. I don't know.
No, like compared to 2 years ago.
I don't know. I mean, keto has been around for a while, and keto has just, blown up. It's all over, but it got completely commercialized, right, Ginny? Everywhere you go, it's even in Costco, keto free, and it's taken over the gluten-free shelves. So these things get commercialized and get pushed as the next cure-all, I guess you'd say.
Is there a reason why minerals cannot become a fad?
Yeah, probably because there are too many minerals. I don't know. The whole mineral industry is focused on just getting cheap minerals. We made minerals important because they're picometer size, they're stabilized ions of minerals, and that's what makes our minerals important, and it makes them work. If you try to use dirt minerals for people's health, it can't compare with what our minerals do, right, Ginny?
Yep, 100%. Yep.
So yeah, we're in a very unique position where we don't fit in with anybody. We really don't, because and that's why we're doing the research. That's why we have to do the research with the universities to show that our absorption is higher and the size of our minerals is definitely in the picometer range, which means they're going to be absorbed in the cells. So yeah, we've got a big chore here. And when you look at where the commercialism of dietary supplements has gone, it's all about Amazon. And what's Amazon all about? The cheapest product. So that's what's pushed. People do the communication of their marketing to give all the benefits of a nutrient, and then they act like their nutrient is going to be beneficial in all those areas when it's not even absorbed. It's really a minefield, and it's difficult for us to play in those minefields because we have so much more to offer, but we can't talk about it. Right, Ginny?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's true. You really can't. So you kind of have to just rely on the consumer to do research, which they are doing more of, and then creating a distinction around the brand itself and the quality of its leadership, like having Dr. Dean at the helm and this kind of thing. Why would you want your dietary supplement being made by a oil company, for crying out loud, a petroleum company, for the Lord's sake? So yeah, that kind of thing. It's challenging, but I guess we're up for the challenge, huh, Carolyn? Yay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're doing so well, and our people are doing so well, and that's what's important. Yeah, I just remembered I was making the point with David about Mercola. He's selling krill oil, and my point is that krill are the food of the whales that show up here in Maui, and I just know that you can overfish the krill to make these silly supplements, and the whales are, what are the whales going to do? They can't go to the store and buy their krill. So there's got to be a balance in everything we do, and not to be dramatic or too dramatic, but when I know these things, I have to talk about them. I have to mention it.
Yeah, well, it's just part of your personal integrity. And that is what happens when you have a real live doctor that is a real live experience that's really plugged in, that is making these decisions and help leading this brand and making choices for the consumer to educate them and to provide them with the best product. I mean, that's just what's so unique about what we do. It makes me happy every single day. To know that's what is occurring. And it's not just a bunch of marketing people sitting around in a room looking at Instagram, trying to figure out what The Rock would take, and then making a product for The Rock, and then trying to promote it through social media. It's ridiculous how these things happen.
Wow. Right. What's up?
2 points. You want to make a fad out of being balanced or balancing. That'd be new. And the nature of capitalism or commercialism or whatever we call our society does fragment and force people to exaggerate something to get attention and upset balance.
Yeah.
So how do you make balance a fad?
Well, I think we started to talk about the cells. That I'm a specialist in cells rather than organs or right foot, left foot. So I've said my specialty is the cells, and we use our new. Well, people are talking about cellular health now. I've noticed it more and more, but we do it knowing that our nutrients are all absorbed at the cellular level where it's needed.
One thing, Bob, that there is such a thing called YMYL, which means your money, your life. And that is the kind of censoring that Google does to prevent companies from making claims that if you give us your money or you're going to lose your life. That kind of exaggerated, and also using words like fantastic and, all the words I like to use, because they don't have any substance to them. So we actually are already very much forced to talk in a very balanced way about the products, because we're not allowed to use exaggerative claims or emotional words. And we're also not allowed to state health concerns or health outcomes. So we have to be very factual, very literal, and very balanced about what we say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so that is a good function by Google or whoever polices this. That is something that they're correct in doing, not allowing people to exaggerate.
Well, I think go ahead.
It's Carolyn. Amazon.
No, it's Google.
Is
YMYL is Google. Yeah. YMYL is Google.
Right. I guess it's good, but it's what happens when you have such a huge platform, social media platform. They have to bring everything down to the lowest common denominator. And what Amazon has been doing, it's been kind of hand in glove with medicine, allopathic medicine, and kind of suppressing supplements themselves. Right, Ginny?
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. We are what is called a part of the old school. We are actually, because we are in the classic, I mean, probably the best way to talk about it is that we are more of the classical music of the dietary supplement industry, because we're in a protected class. because we actually use what's called the essential nutrients, which are vitamins and minerals and amino acids the body actually requires. And so technically we're protected by the FDA, and our products cannot be attacked in that way. But companies that make, say, the CBD oils and ginkgo biloba and elderberry juice and all this other random weird stuff, you want to talk about a trend, was elderberry this last year. Somehow the elderberry has gotten in prominence because it's supposedly good for the immune system. Maybe, maybe not. But, you know, this is the kind of thing, you know, echinacea and these things, this is where you get into that non-protected status because they're not essential. There is no RDA for a CBD oil or any kind of recommended. There's not an essential nutrient for the body. And so they can't be endorsed by quote unquote medicine. Because they don't have any nutritional value that's well established by research or science. And so those are the YMYL companies that Google really does go after, and probably should, because these are the companies that, you know, there is no legislating or controlling of the CBD oil market. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's what'll happen with a new venture. They will go crazy before, I guess, the authorities come around to regulate them. But you know what's interesting in our IBS book, we do talk about herbs, but we go to the German Commission. It's called German Commission E, that took it upon themselves to look through lists of hundreds of herbs. Let me see if I can find it. Commission E. So Germany's Commission E is an official government agency that performs a job similar to that of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, only it's specifically focused on herbs. In 1978, the Federal Health Agency organized this commission to evaluate the safety and efficacy of medicinal herbs. The monographs were an outcome of the effort, consist of more than 300 brief articles on the most medically important herbal preparations. These monographs serve as the basis for the medical usage of herbs within the German healthcare system and outline acceptable manufacturing processes on the basis of available scientific and clinical evidence. So, I mean, that's pretty important. I mean, we had to go to the Commission E to be able to discuss the herbs that we wanted to talk about in the IBS book. And there's nothing like that in America. They just sort of, I don't know, what did they do with herbs in America? They
ignore them.
They ignore them. Yeah.
Does YNYL get applied to pharmaceutical companies?
No.
They don't do it with regular drugs, so the regular commercials can be exaggerated.
I don't know. I mean, with drugs, they mostly advertise in scientific medical journals. You know, they just do their billion-dollar studies and then say, we've got this breakthrough and it will do this and that.
And they don't say this is fantastic in words like that.
No, it's a whole different world. Okay, Jenny, what have we got? We've chewed away the time quite nicely.
Yes, we have. So 7 minutes to the top of the hour. And if you'd like to talk to Dr. Dean tonight before we wrap up the show, you've got the number 646-558-8656. And again, 883-695-3587. So you've got to hit that *92 to raise your hand, and we'll put you on the line if you're here and ready to chitty chat. Otherwise, we'll probably just have to wrap up the show. Oh, nope, here comes somebody crashing through the barriers. Okay, *6 on your phone, area code 610, please. *6. And there you go. Hello and welcome.
Hello. I'm calling about zinc. You were talking about zinc before.
Yes.
And I know that you have the Pico zinc.
Mm-hmm.
In different things that I've been reading about zinc and quercetin,
Mm-hmm.
that quercetin is an ionophore, and that helps the zinc get into the cell better.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Is it necessary to take quercetin if the zinc is at picometer size?
No, it is not, because the size of the stabilized ion of zinc is such that it will absorb freely through the picometer size cell mineral ion channels. So it makes it unnecessary. It's its own ionophore.
Okay, because of the size.
Because of the size, yes.
Right. Okay.
Another
question.
Otherwise, zinc is it's usually a compound. Hydroxychloroquine, quercetin, they're ionophores, and I don't know how exactly they open the channels. I mean, that is a good question, actually. But yeah, I'll have to look into that. Yeah, what's your first name?
Terry.
Okay, Carrie, go ahead.
Okay. Another question I had was about silver.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to past podcasts that you had back in 2020, nebulizing silver.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the doctors that was on the program said not to put the silver with the saline for a nebulization.
And
I
don't remember that, but the Pico silver, we just use it full strength.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why. I forget why he said that. I don't know if he would not have been talking about our Pico silver, I don't think.
Okay. I'm not sure if I have my notes, but whatever. That's all that just one more quick thing.
Sure.
I was on a live chat a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about things that are going on with mandates. And I'm just happy to say that my daughter went through and got her religious exemption. And it was helpful to chit-chat a little bit with some of the people online and praying. And she got it. So
great.
Thanks for letting me vent.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to wrap up the show, Carolyn. We've got a break now.
Yes. Thank you so much, Carrie. And yeah, congratulations on that.
Very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
I'm calling you right after the show, Ginny.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Carolyn. It was a great show. Very much wisdom.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rachel and Deborah and Bob.
listening to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show. For questions about today's broadcast, email Dr. Dean at questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com. That's questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com.
This is Dreamvision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.